This is your historic white pill for the day. President Trump is a time traveler, and he was able to predict back in 2012 what was about to happen to our nation. I cannot believe this is real. It is. This is a real tweet. Donald Trump sent it. This is Trump's real account. There we go. Verified. Iran is going to shut the Strait of Hormuz, and Barack Obama won't approve the Keystone pipeline. His energy policy makes America weak. Oh, okay. Well, Iran has shut the Strait of Hormuz, unless, of course, you're listening to President Trump, who says that the Strait of Hormuz is actually American territory. President Trump posting this image. The Strait of Hormuz is a new U.S. territory. I saw somebody say that we should call this the George Strait and blare country music over the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump has said that there's no longer any conversations going on with the Islamic Republic of Iran. The naval blockade has remained in full force and effect, and Hormuz Strait is open and operating. So a lot of people see this as a meme or potentially bluster, right? But what it really is President Trump predicting way back in 2012 what his strategy was going to be, and his strategy is working. And this isn't according to me, wish casting. I'm a fan of the president. I want his administration to be successful. I haven't been a fan of the Iran war. I want us to focus on the domestic priorities that are emergencies in this country, mass deportations, the price of homes, the price of gas, the price of groceries. But lo and behold, CNN and the entire world is beginning to see that Trump's strategy is not only working, but it may well change the region forever. Iran has lost significant control of the Strait of Hormuz, according to CNN. From CNN, Iran is losing control of the Strait of Hormuz, not from Trump's Truth Social, from CNN. What is going on here? Let's read. The battle for control of the Strait of Hormuz have become a focal point of the Iran war. Over the past several months, Iran and the United States claimed the upper hand, competing rhetoric, considerable confusion. At this moment, however, the evidence is clear. The United States is patrolling the strait with its navy, gaining ground, and Iran is losing much of its control of the waterway. More than 80% of the vessels that transmits through the Strait of Hormuz over the past 2 weeks have taken the Omani route, a UN-authorized shipping channel that Iran vehemently opposes, according to Kepler, which keeps track of the ships and transponder data. Iran, declaring the strait is under its control, has attacked dozens of ships that tried to travel the waterway in the north coast of Oman. Despite the risk, most ships have recently chosen to ignore Iran's demands and cross the strait with the promise of protection from U.S. naval forces. It's increasingly looking like Iran has lost control of the strait, says Fakashimi, head of crude oil analysis for Kepler. Shifting control. This stands in stark contrast to a month ago when Kepler observed virtually no ships trafficking Omani route. The ship reduction and trafficking around Iran preferred route and preventing Iran from charging tolls on ship traffic, as it did this spring. The expiration of the Memorandum of Understanding says Iran's request to collect tolls is something that most Middle Eastern folks don't want to have to do and are not going to do, he says. So the Omani route absolutely makes the most sense. And now saying that there are massive new military partnerships against Iran and their ability to extort the Strait of Hormuz. And CNN is here admitting tons of tankers are getting through. 15 million barrels of oil a day getting through under the United States' blockade. What? Look at this. From the director of research on Iran's IRGC. Sources inside tell me the U.S. blockade is starting to have a serious impact, not only choking Iranian oil sales, but disrupting the supply chains to China, beginning to cause friction, which in turn triggers a degree of panic. And now you can see this is what's happening to the Chinese stock market today. Chinese stock market getting absolutely destroyed. Trillions of yen wiped out in one day. Just a bloodbath. It's because China has no natural oil. China is wholly and totally dependent on oil from Iran. And oil from Iran can't get out. Donald Trump is actually winning this war. And he's asking for all the other Arab nations to step up. Look at this. Pentagon weighing smaller U.S. military presence in the Gulf once Iran war ends. Saying, hey, why don't you guys just protect it? As we've covered previously, there are tons of U.S. bases all throughout the Persian Gulf. They're everywhere. And now, lo and behold, a nightmare for Iran. Not only are the American targets leaving, not only is the American oil flowing and going around their blockade entirely. Not only can they not ship any of their oil out, but also Trump just announced that he is going to do a last-minute massive deal with Canada in order to grant a oil pipeline to the Keystone XL pipeline. Risen from the dead. Here's President Trump posting on Truth Social. Risen from the dead. Trump is bringing back the Keystone XL pipeline. President Trump confirmed that he's reached a deal with Canada. Tariffs are paused. Keystone XL is back on the table. Just in case you're wondering, the pipeline from Alberta, that's the largest known oil reserves in the world. It's oil sands, so it's a little harder to get out. It's not the same as Middle Eastern oil, but there's more of it than anywhere else on Earth. It's the largest proven oil reserves on the planet. That's why the Keystone XL pipeline was such a big deal, because they were going to now make that our energy and bring it back. And Donald Trump saying, we're bringing it back.
Barrels of crude oil down from Alberta, Canada into Nebraska, a project that was killed by President Biden on his first day in office. Quick look at the market reaction. The president's announcement of a delay for those new Canada tariffs and a deal that would open up access for American goods.
Oh, boy, man. Okay, so not only are we getting the Fortress North America taking shape, where President Trump has access to cheap and available oil and natural gas all throughout our country. Not only is it under our total control, but also Donald Trump is now taking all of the Venezuelan oil. This is amazing. About half of Venezuela's oil output now goes to the U.S., Undersecretary says. BP, two of the world, and ADNOC, two of the world's biggest energy companies, have vowed to increase oil and gas production in Venezuela. Where's that oil going to go? Half of Venezuela's oil production is now headed to the U.S. The country is producing around 1.5 million barrels a day, with more than 500,000 barrels going to American refineries. Yo. This is crazy. Venezuela oil reserves production ratio is over 900 years. So Venezuela isn't even on the same chart. Venezuela is legit. Look at this. Look at how oil rich Venezuela is. Do you see how important President Trump's operation there is? Venezuela is nothing compared to these other Gulf states. Crazy this. Let's go into America, baby. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, the president is funding massive oil flows that go around the Strait of Hormuz, so Iran can't harass them at all. Iraq, Syria plan to unveil Mediterranean pipeline, billions of dollars of U.S. investments. The U.S. has been working with Iraq and Syria to revamp an old oil pipeline that will bypass the Strait of Hormuz entirely. It's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a very bad play to close the Strait of Hormuz for Iran. President Trump announcing that we own the strait. Trump declares the Strait of Hormuz U.S. territory. And guess who agrees with him? Iran and CNN, which is indistinguishable, frankly. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Keep winning. Hang tight, Patriot. We're going to win. See ya.